Weeks after the Doklam row, China has provoked India once again. Sources have told India today that 30 incursions by Chinese troops have been reported since the Doklam row. The incursions have been reported in October and November. Meanwhile, Chinese President Xi Jinping has spoken about India-China relations. He said that China cannot seek a peaceful environment at the cost of its own interests. He added, and I quote, "When safeguarding sovereignty, territorial integrity and core interests, we will always be aggressive and strong because there is no room for compromise on these issues. In both the South China Sea and Doklam, we defend China's sovereignty and bearing in mind the greater picture." All right, the statement coming in from Xi Jinping is quite important. He says that he cannot seek peaceful relations with India at the cost of compromising China's sovereignty. He claims that China will guard its territory at all cost. This statement coming in against the backdrop of several more incursions being reported by the Chinese army in the Doklam region. The Chinese president there saying that he will not tolerate any incursions into Chinese territory. He claims that Doklam is a part of China. The standoff between the two countries obviously intensifying. All right, we're going to try and connect to Gaurav Sawant, our executive editor, for more on that story. China clearly taking an aggressive stand on the Doklam matter. Xi Jinping there issuing a statement saying that China will not look at improving relations with India if it works out against the sovereignty of its nation. Chinese president also saying that the government's first priority would be to secure its territory. This is an extremely aggressive statement coming in from the Chinese president. So far, we've been seeing aggressive statements from the Chinese Foreign Ministry. Now this reaction coming in from the president himself. We have Gaurav Sawant who's with us live from our newsroom. Gaurav, what do you make of this aggressive statement coming in from the Chinese president?
A lot of activity has been taking place ever since the Doklam standoff. We've seen a quadrilateral coming up. So you have the United States, Japan, Australia and India coming on the same page. The aim is to counter China's aggressive stance, the way the dragon has been breathing fire. The tension remains. So while troops may have thinned out at Doklam, but what is extremely interesting at this point of time, Simi, is the fact that there have been an increased Chinese incursions all across. And it's a massive spike in Chinese incursions all along the line of actual control, whether it's in Ladakh, in Barahoti or in Arunachal Pradesh. So more probe missions by Chinese patrols coming up to their perception of the line of actual control, more aggressive statements coming from the Chinese president. At the same time, India coming around for an effective counterbalance to China. So this is a lot of jockeying and meshing that is currently happening. Neither side lowering their guard at this point of time, Simi.
Gaurav, stay on with us. We also have Sudhir Ranjan Sen, who's with us live from the national capital. Sudhir, we've been seeing quite a few aggressive statements being made by the Chinese Foreign Ministry in response to statements that were made by the Army Chief and the Air Force Chief earlier. But this is a statement that's coming in from the Chinese president himself saying safeguarding sovereignty and territorial integrity are his government's top priorities. This obviously cannot go down too well with the Indian government.
Well, I mean, the reaction that we are getting from the Indian government is that, there's no unnecessary concern out here. Because what the government says is much of the statements could also be meant for Xi Jinping's internal constituency, addressing his internal needs. Because if you look at, subsequent to what happened after Doklam, with Prime Minister Modi kickstarting the diplomatic bilateral process, the first meeting of the Working Committee on Coordination and Consultation on border issues between India and China is happening this month. And we are going to sit down and discuss, and it will be followed by a discussion or another round of talks between the special representatives, which will be led by Ajit Doval from our side and Yan Jiechi from their side. So while you're getting to see aggressive statements, perhaps at the same point of time, the mechanisms that have been set up to handle the border is also working. And therefore, as a result of which Government of India feels, or New Delhi feels, there is no need for unnecessary caution or scaremongering.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.